With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary K.
Hey everyone, this is Gary K, and welcome to a special edition of my Rants and Raves video cast. I am joined by the one human being in our industry. I believe he's the only one who only does AV over IP, AV systems. Like, that's the only thing you design, Alex, is only AV over IP, AV systems. Am I right?
That's correct.
I believe you're the only person on earth that only does that. I think there's a lot of people that can say, well, that's all I do. But I bet they're still getting called into HDMI and HD-based distribution. But in your case, Alex Pendleton, he's a ProAV senior systems engineer for NETGEAR, the networking company. And in your case, you are fielding a lot of the requests for systems design, which is interesting because NETGEAR offers that as a free service, right?
That's correct. It's a service that we're proud to offer free because we know how difficult these designs and implementations, deployments, how sticky they can be. So our team, and I may be the only one there's 22 of us on the team that also participate. So I would say we are the only team.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. I'll give you that. But yeah, so yeah, a lot of people probably don't know this. NETGEAR, and you go to netgear.com/ProAV, or even I think netgear.com/AV too. That tells you everything about their services that are aimed at ProAV market. And we've documented that really well. We've been talking about NETGEAR for many years here at rAVe and what they've done for the industry. But I want to talk about Alex. So Alex, I want to know how you got in the industry. And I understand that well, first of all, you've been in NETGEAR for a while, but I'm interested in how you get into the AV over IP team, because I heard a rumor that it was because of the shed in New York City, which is a big deal.
Yeah, originally, NETGEAR's start into AV was through SDVOE. We're a proud, founding member of the SDVOE Alliance, and we supported the installations initially, but we knew based off of the installation, that was the size of the installation, the scale, the visibility, that we were going to need.
You're talking about the shed specifically.
The shed specifically at 1 Hudson Yards. We did the video screens in the lobby. We also did the video screens at the top of each escalator. It's a system that was designed on our M4300 96X platform. And we worked with a consultant and an integrator to get that implemented and designed. But we knew we kind of needed someone on the ground once, stuff was starting. We knew there was a scenario that we needed to evaluate there. Like 4K video was artifacting when it get to 60 frames. We ruled out the network as being a possible problem of that. But we needed to have someone there to kind of represent, NETGEAR's AV interests, and that's where the ProAV team kind of was cultivated, essentially, because we knew that team, we didn't have a process at that time to go on site to be a part of the installation if something were to happen negative with the design.
Of course they're going to blame the network because it's a network-based system, right? So, and
the amount of times,
a lot of times it would be the network.
Yeah, the amount of requests we get where they're like, we think it's the network, and then it comes back, oh no, it wasn't the network.
And in this case with the shed, it was an HDMI cable, ironically, which is required because you got to take the HDMI into the encoders and decoders. Let's give a call out and shout out to Aurora. They're the ones that actually did the integrate. There's the products that were actually used.
That's right. And they were fantastic too. Yeah. Aurora's team was right there with us, trying to figure out what the issue was, and it ended up being a procurement of an HDMI that wasn't capable of doing 4K 60.
Yeah, that's why you got to change out your cables when you change resolutions. All right, so I want to know what a day in the life of Alex Pendleton's like. Do you have your 250 and 4350 products just sitting there, and you just like play around with them, or how does this work? Tell me what happens in a day in the life.
When I get the time, sure. But we field around 200 to 300 contacts to our ProAV design at netgear.com email a day. And I start my morning with a nice brisk walk to prepare myself mentally for what's about to come in. And that's about 4 a.m. 6 a.m. is the start of my shift. We've segmented our team into groups to where, you know, we take the email as the primary, and then we have another person as secondary, and then we flip that after about 2 hours so that person's the primary and the previous one's the secondary. And this allows us the freedom to kind of do the design work that's coming in through that email, and also the debugging if there is needed to be looked at. A lot
So
of
when you
times,
get these emails, are they partially designed systems, or are they like help?
Sometimes they're designs, because AV systems, the scale, right, is so large and it's so small at the same time. You could have one switch that handles a NDI camera with Dante audio, QSYS audio, or you could have a massive SDVOE system like Yale University, and a QSYS audio system to go along with that. You know what I mean? So you could have a really, really large scale, really, really small scale. So we could have anywhere from a contact of, hey, I have all of these things working, but there's one thing I wanted you to look at, or I have a new system that we're looking at designing that's 87 endpoints. And that's all we get in the email, and that starts the design process from there.
Yeah, and ultimately, your team has to kind of be an expert at all of them, because sometimes you're using Visionary, sometimes you're using Aurora, sometimes you're using Extron, sometimes you're using Crestron. I mean,
absolutely.
I'm guessing going back a few years, it was probably like 80% Crestron, but now it's diversified quite a bit, has it not? Or, or am I
supply
wrong there?
concerns, right? Because you know, if you can't get your groceries, how are you going to cook the food, right? You know, and the scenario has been that we need to, you know, NETGEAR prides itself on being able to bring all of those signals into the same switch, which has been such a challenge in this industry. There's a lot of conflicting things. First of all, multicast isn't just used in AV networks, it's used in routing protocols. And so there's a lot of overlap there that where, you know, people will think that they can stream on certain addresses, and they can't because the switch can't orient. NETGEAR has organized a system that allows for that. So yes, our team must be multifaceted. It's good that we have IT professionals that understand those problems and are able to kind of counter when needed.
So you get up at 4, you're at work by 6. And the reason for that is obviously you're located on the West Coast, but you're serving global. So therefore you're getting the press all over the place. What's that?
Thankfully, we are a global team because our European friends have helped us with the Eastern Seaboard, considering 3 of us on the U.S. team are all on the Pacific Coast. So
do you have, so you spend your day just designing systems, like you in AutoCAD or you're in Visio all day long?
We have like Visio stencils that we like to utilize. We also spend a lot of time with our systems as far as because when an email comes in, it has a ProAV ticket tied to it. We'll go in and we'll work with those tickets. But we're
showing some system designs now. They look very much like standard AV systems designs, but if you look closely, it's all network stuff.
Yes,
and
exactly.
And you know, you mentioned NDI. Has that had a big impact on the AV world, or is that still more towards streaming and production? And then also
definitely in the house of worship world, house of worship, NDI, they have a very close relationship. We see a lot of that. NDI has been, I would say, a great alternative for semi-live broadcast, and to give you an option for a less expensive choice in that space. And we've seen a lot.
If you don't need synchronous video, NDI is a good way to go, is what you're
100%. And it seemed like it happened overnight, because we received Richard Jonker he's our ProAV business developer in Europe, sent a big wide email to everyone. Hey, prepare, NDI is going to happen. This was back in May of 2020. And it seemed like as soon as he said that, the amount of NDI emails coming into the ProAV design team was just doubled. So yeah, it has been a major part. I think it's a great medical space too. Integrator we've worked with in San Francisco often has had medical installations, and those have always been something to see.
What's the biggest system you've worked on? How many endpoints?
The largest system I've personally worked on, although I kind of share with the entire world because we all kind of participated, is the American Dream Mall. It's
what mall?
American Dream Mall.
Where's that?
That's in New Jersey, right across from MetLife Stadium. It's a huge building with interactive kiosks everywhere. A group called S&A Displays is the integrator for that one. They called it the American Nightmare when we came in because of the problems that they had with another switch manufacturer. We designed a system that is a double tier MLAG system. It's the first one of its kind. It allows for streaming of 320 to 320 encoders to decoders.
Wow.
And it is
That's
a
big
really, exactly. It's a really powerful system. They can route video anywhere if they need. It's a really great design. And we're very thankful that they trusted us with that one.
And then how small is a system too small for you to do? Do you do point to point stuff too?
Oh yeah, point to point, single switch environments. We really there's no too large or too small. We get a lot of like, what do you guys recommend for this loadout of AV equipment, and we'll just send the switch manufacturer quantity, and then it goes from there.
That's very cool. And how has it changed in the last, say, 2 or 3 years? Are you seeing exponential growth? Are you seeing new brands that are emerging? Like, can you tell me some trends that you've noticed in the last few years?
100% more lighting than anything from my perspective. We've also saw a lot of requests for integration since we did the Shure profile, 2 years ago. Since that happened, it has just been an absolute, hey, let's get this done for Visionary Solutions or Crestron, AMX. All of these brands have come to us and said, we want something like that, a little different maybe in ways, but similar in the nature of the holy grail, which is like automation or provision, auto provision. So these are the types of things we're working towards, and that would be the biggest change that I've seen from us being involved with the amount of manufacturers. As far as designs go, because of our training pipeline, because we've been able to explain and design some of the networks, once we've designed some of the larger networks, those teams will still continue to come back to us for questions, but they might do the design themselves. So that part from the same integrator has kind of slowed down, but new integrators come through the door all the time, and new systems are always ready to be designed.
Yeah, it's interesting because you'd probably be a good bellwether for sort of industry growth. And, obviously I think everyone agrees that eventually we're going to push everything across the network. It's just going to take time. As you said, if you don't have groceries, then you can't shop, but there's been delivery issues. There's been supply issues. There's been issues like that are sort of coming around. And finally, I saw a message just last week from Extron saying we're shipping everything, and obviously they have the NAV system. NAV is kind of interesting because it does 1 gig all the way to 10 gig. You can dial in the bandwidth. Is that caused problems for you, or has that been unique, or is that different?
No, that's been great. In fact, they've been fantastic to work for. And in fact, Extron is ever bit the part of reputation that they have. I mean, they are such professionals, and they've allowed us the time to resolve, because they were one of the names we saw on the purchase sheets when NETGEAR was first understanding what this industry was about back in 2016, when my manager Laurent was looking at all the people purchasing his switch. He was seeing names like Extron, and we didn't know, right? We didn't know what their business was. We didn't know. And we made a change to the firmware right when the 96X40 card came out. This is back in 2017. It broke a lot of their systems. And they called us right on the phone. Hey, what are you guys doing? You can't do that. And we fixed it. And they allowed us that time. And so they've always been a great partner to us. And we absolutely love their NAV systems. And we've sent them a lot of switches to kind of validate their system with our switches. And like I say, they have a lot of great contracts. We also have similar contracts with similar customers. So it kind of was a natural merge.
And you mentioned Visionary. I see Visionary a lot. And whenever I see them, when I'm in the field, I see like 50 or 100 of them. I never see like 2 or 3. They seem to be doing larger systems with their 1 gig capable AV over IP side. And they're one of the companies that have been in the industry the longest, I think, too.
If we would have been partners with them earlier, and I'd say around 2017, 2018, somewhere around in there, we would have had opportunity to participate in the big Resort World Conrad Hotel in Las Vegas, which they did. And that is a extremely beautiful design. I gotta give them credit, but they had that design on the network infrastructure that they chose. The third-party manufacturer took a long time just to get the network settled. It would have been a lot easier with us if we'd have been put in place there. The next one they do, we will be a part of it. They're great partners and friends of ours now. We are deep into development together, and that's going to continue on to the future.
One last question. So you're 22 people now. How big were you in the beginning of 2020? How many people?
Oh, man. That's another part of that question that I wanted to add, which I forgot, but what has changed in the last 2 to 3 years as far as scale. The ProAV design team started with me, Derek, and Neil. Neil was in Europe, and Derek is out here in Fresno, and it was just us three. And we were underwater at that time as far as the amount of contacts coming in. And seeing that scale grow and seeing the people we brought on. There's only 4 of us in the U.S. and there's 4 in Europe, and then we have about 5 or 6 covering APAC. So seeing that change to 22 has just been crazy. We will see an increase, fingers crossed, coming within the next 6 months because we need it, and we want to bring on more and more people to intercept the amount of contacts we're receiving. Because like I say, you need a good, well-rounded tech. And someone that's a true NETGEARian to put in the hours for sure. Yeah.
And if you're interested, just click on the link below and you can get access to NETGEAR's free design services. Of course, they're going to put in NETGEAR switches. So if you want to use somebody else's switches, you might not want to use them. But they're going to put in NETGEAR switch, which is fair, Alex. I say that's fair. I think that's fair game, right? I mean, you're
got to understand, though, Gary.
By NETGEAR.
You got to understand, me and my team, if I said we only worked on NETGEAR switches, I'd be lying to you. But the amount of times I've had to fix another manufacturer's switch to work with our switch is unbelievable. Because
I've heard the stories, even at our own campus at UNC, where we
sometimes there's switches that are already in there. There's already switches that have to be worked with. So my team is very well rounded and very capable.
And we're going to be, your team's going to have more work because we're going to be moving more towards wireless here as well. That'll make a difference as well. Especially with NDI probably being the first to use that. But I'm interested in catching up with you again. Maybe another year we could touch base because I suspect you'll be a lot bigger, and and you'll have more than 22 people. But I don't understand why someone in Southern California is a Green Bay Packers fan. That does not compute to me. What is the deal with that?
I'm originally from Salt Lake City, Utah, and there were 3 teams. There's 3 teams in the 90s. There were 3 teams on television in Utah because of the way that CBS has it, Fox has it, and it was Green Bay basically because of Brett Favre and his sensational
Washington and Dallas, right?
Well, they had Dallas. Well, no, they didn't have Dallas. They had the 49ers and the Denver Broncos, and there's no way you're fans of either of those 2. Even living out here in San Fran.
Have you been to Green Bay for a game?
Yeah. I've actually been there when I was very, very young. I don't remember it all.
It's freezing cold there. You know that, right? It's not at all.
October 1st, they beat the Vikings, which is the best way you want it, So.
Well, look, Alex, it's good to meet you. Thanks for doing this.
Nice to meet you.
And congratulations on your growth and your management of that growth. You deserve a lot of credit for that. Laurent talks highly of you, as does John. And I really want to thank you for joining us. And I want y'all to use their service. Yeah, everyone that's watching this, you trying to get an AV over IP, you're not sure how to do it. Alex's team will do it for you. You don't even have to learn how to do it, but they'll also teach you how to do it so that he doesn't have to do everything for you. But check it out at netgear.com/ProAV or click on the link below and get you directly to their services. Alex, I'll see you at ISE and Infocom.
Absolutely. See you there, Gary.
All right. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. All of our video casts are at ravepubs.com.
With rants and raves.